Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode, Stronger Together with Marc and Matt. How's it going, Matt?
Good. How you doing, Mark?
Hanging in there, the usual busy, traveling, working on the Marc Network, getting more organizations and nonprofits to join the resource page and getting more community members, you know, just trying to bring awareness to the mobility awareness resource community.
Yeah.
What have
How's
you been up to?
family?
The family's great. No complaints, no complaints. Um,
Yeah.
Yep, everybody's doing great here. What do you got going on? I know you're always busy. I know United
Yeah,
Spinal keeps you busy.
yeah, between work and the kids, it seems nonstop. United Spinal's moving forward. We have some great advocacy plans in the works, trying to fight some of the policies, make sure our voice is heard at that level. Work is just crazy busy. We have coming up to the Veterans Month, so we have some, great programming coming out for that. So check out our events page on unitedspinal.org to see what's going on there. And personally, just busy. My kids are busy with school. My son just took up cross country running, so he's been at a couple of meets, and God bless him. I can never run long distances like that, but he's determined and driven, and I'm proud of him. And my other boy is he's almost a black belt in Taekwondo. He's one belt away. So we've been busy with all that stuff,
Wow.
and I'm proud of them. Yeah. So aside from that, just kind of, you know, starting my rugby season off the bang, and hopefully making it to postseason this year. So um,
Well, I wish you the best.
thank you.
So
So
what do
we
we
have,
we have a yeah, great interview tonight.
yeah.
Why don't you just go right into it? I'm
Yeah,
excited.
no, Mark, you connected us with this gentleman. I'm excited to learn more about him and to share his story with the greater community. Charlie Croteau, who's an accessible engineer genius. He creates and manufactures things from just parts lying around. So, Charlie, welcome to Stronger Together with Mark and Matt.
Well, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So that's Charlie. Why don't you give us a little breakdown of how you got to this situation? Just a quick one. We're going to go in depth with it. Um, I do have a video to show, lots of videos to show of you, but I'd love to hear, how did you get into the chair in your
Uh,
situation?
well, I was in junior in engineering school at Montana State University, ag engineering, and I broke my neck on a trampoline. So C6 quad complete, and everything changed in a blink of an eye. And then when I got into the wheelchair stuff, I couldn't believe that 53 years ago, a manual wheelchair cost $600. I was just shocked. And I grew up going to the dump on Sundays after church and getting bike parts. So I never bought a bike in my life, never did that. And then that matriculated into cars, and I had my first car at 13, and I worked on machinery and cars, and I just was a just mechanics is a natural fit for me.
So,
And
Charlie, so many of us here, like myself, my life changed in the blink of an eye. The marathon bombing, 2013, where I was amputated, and Matt was driving down the street on his motorcycle, and his life changed in the blink of an eye. So we get it, we know, and as individuals in this community, we also witnessed the price and the cost of things. And my time, that chair was $5,900 for that wheelchair. The other was 600. Mine, when I first got out, the chair they got me, they billed my insurance company $5,900
Wow.
for a like Walmart wheelchair. That's what
Yeah.
I got.
I got I got $11,000 I'm sitting on right now. It's a carbon fiber chair.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
five my chair was 17,000. I
Yeah.
got the T Light.
Yeah.
you're kidding.
Yeah, manual wheelchair was $17,000.
I
That's
see
the
Yeah.
build.
I see a lot of fat people sitting in ultralight wheelchairs, so call them weight weenies with their spandex and all that.
you know, one of the things I appreciate about what you do is, you know, with the price of everything so high, sometimes these alternative equipment that we need in our lives to give us more greater access to the beach or to other things are not always attainable, because the price for those things are very high as well. So, I value what you do, reutilize and repurposing parts from different things to create systems of accessibility for our community.
Can I educate and just show our community right off the bat what we're going to be talking about a little bit? But also, Charlie, I know there's a lot more to you than just this stuff right here that we're going to show, and I have a lot of videos that I want to show our community. But Matt, I'm going to let him touch more on that. But I just
Yeah.
want to show people so they have an idea, and I'm going to show a couple more videos too throughout this short conversation here.
It's Danny83 also asked about four-wheel drives, but before we fly, let's learn to walk. So the simplest power chair that you can build is probably something like this. Basically, this chair cost about nothing to build, all right? It's just a power wheelchair somebody gave me, stripped down, and all the components taken off it and put onto a platform. So it's
So there it is. That's just one clip of the power wheelchair. I'm going to show a few more clips. So as we're talking here about the expense that people endure, right? There you are. You said somebody gave you that power wheelchair, and in your mind, like you said, from a very young age, was finding bike parts to create bikes and cars. And right when you got paralyzed, there you said your junior year and got a trampoline.
Yep.
You instantly turned that same love and ability to create something like this at a very low cost.
Yeah. Well, back when I first got hurt, I was racing and stuff. So I built one of the first racing wheelchairs. Before we all raced in Evereston Jennings wheelchairs, they were all the same. And then I'm like with my buddies, hey, doesn't do the trick. Let's build a frame so that thing actually set a world record, held a world record for about 15 minutes. And until Nils Jurgensen came and beat me in the next heat. So had 15 minutes of fame. Once we started building wheelchairs that were faster, and like the paraplegics would take my chair and they're like, oh God, I can, we're crushing the records with these things. And, so it started way back then, even before I got out of the hospital, taking a sliding board. My dad was a carpenter, and I couldn't get the sliding board under my butt because there was no hole in the center. So he made a bunch of sliding boards. We routed out a slot to put your hand in and be able to do that under your butt and, taper the board. So now the boards had ways that quads could put their hand in it and push it underneath their cheeks. So I mean, that's 53 years ago. And
Wow.
my father made a bunch of them for everybody. Then somebody took that and I saw it on the market where they're making, put a hole lengthwise and then this and that. So there's somehow.
I mean, now it's standard on all the boards, to put the holes. So, creative designs by users like us that lead to, creating greater accessibility for us all. So when you are seeing a challenge in the early phases, you immediately were motivated to problem solve. Was that your innate nature, or did it evolve after the injury?
No, that is my nature. Everything I look at, I don't know. We can generally do it better. Or I love what the Japanese do. If you make something, they'll buy it and then they reverse engineer it and make it better. You just, okay, we don't need to do that. It's too much, or this, that, the other thing. So it's not anything tremendous. It's just it's all there. The hard engineering is there. I just need to cobble it back together in a different way.
So this was something which I really noticed about you watching a lot of your videos was your sense of humor. And right at the beginning of this clip, this something said that I always say when I'm on a hand cycle doing a marathon. It's two-legged people cheating, and same with sled hockey. So I just want to show this clip because I do want to show a little bit about this chair, but I love this chair. And when you talk about speed, the next clip after that also shows speed. But we're going to get into more depths of what else and what you create. But I really want our viewers to see who you are and the ability that you have. And again, this is more recent stuff compared to the other stuff that you did. So let's run this.
They're walking, going so slow. What are we gonna do,
The power here is amazing to get up this hill. Just so easy.
And the hill was much steeper than it looks.
And those are all recycled parts on that thing?
Yeah, that's the only thing on those chairs I had to buy was the front gray tire. A company called Wheel Ease.
Yeah.
That, and it's a good tire. It's not junk. But it cost about $90 for a tire.
And we talk about the speed. You love speed, it seems like, in records.
Ooh, this thing fast, bro. I'm gonna slow down some because I might get in trouble. Speed, nothing but speed. So you built this?
Yeah.
Nah, this can go in the water.
Yep. About that much.
So I love. Do you hear the happiness in his voice, Matt?
Yeah. He
And
gave
the
him
speed.
independence in an environment that is very challenging for us wheelers.
Yeah.
And there's another one he had mentioned, going in the water, right? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the actual video here. This might. Nope, this is not the video I was looking for, so I'm going to stop sharing this one. But I do have a video of you going through water in that beach chair. And
That's
to
on
me,
the
it's
beach bug video. It's about 1:42 long. So it's got the beach music on it.
So how do you protect the components of the chair from the water?
It's not that hard. You just don't put them in the water.
So you go deep up until
Yeah. Well, I don't know. People don't understand electricity, first of all. You're dealing with two 12-volt batteries. So if it's going to short out, it's going to go from the positive to the negative terminal. And it's not going to go up to where you are.
Sand on Cape Cod.
Gotcha.
watch. Look at, he's right there. He's in water.
Wow.
Just keeps the components that need to be up out of water.
Right. I mean, when I'm doing really crazy stuff, there's another video. I'm going through like at least 12, 14 inches of water. The front end is floating on the chair.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I'm just, when you check that one out, it's called the beach bug. That'll show you what this thing can really do. But
yeah, and that's at your YouTube channel, right? The youtube.com, Charles Croteau.
Charlie Croteau, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's for the YouTube channel. I think that's the link I copied directly from the videos.
Okay. Yeah, I need to,
Update.
I'm good at building stuff. Anything with computers and doing this, I hate them. I don't know how they work. I can't fix it. I can't see how it runs. It drives me crazy. So
Charlie, Yeah, go ahead,
sorry.
Matt. I'm sure you have a ton
I
of
was just
questions.
curious. I just wanted to ask, like, how someone could gain access to a chair like that. Do you sell them? Do you sell?
No, you can't. You can never. Our shop motto is we can make anything but a profit. People, I spend half my time on the beach talking with people. because they're like, oh my God, where did you get this? I went to the beach the other day. Some lady took my picture. Then somebody else said, oh, my uncle and my husband was here with a walker and, blah, blah, blah. But in America, we have so much surplus of wheelchairs. Tremendous. I mean, I can only take like a tenth of what's out there. And I give people beautiful wheelchairs like the M3 with all the ups, downs, stand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's like a $30,000 chair to a $50,000 chair. And people die and they're like, oh, I taught wheelchair mobility for 40 years. So I know a lot of people and a lot of our brothers and sisters are passing away as we matriculate through the. So I have access to that. We have a program in Massachusetts called Re-Equip, where they take gently used wheelchairs and refurbish them and then give them away for free. So there's a plethora of stuff out there. Just go on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You can pick up a chair for next to nothing.
Yeah, the beach has been always a thorn in my side. My wife wants to get a house down by the beach, and I had the hippocamp chair. I've tried all the chairs that are on the market, and nothing I can do independently because of my level of function. That's why when I saw that thing, I was like, oh, how do I go about, either getting the plans on how to build one or pay you to build me one?
It's you wouldn't believe it. So it's there's nothing to it. It's not rocket science.
Sweet.
I think it's amazing. And Charlie, you just seem like you have this outlook on life and this positivity, and like all you have ever done, and I can relate, is you solve problems. Like you said, you couldn't get a bike, so you went and got bike parts from the junkyard. We did dumpster diving too growing up, and putting together. My dad was, he was the guy that went to everybody in the neighborhood's trash and picked up everything to make something out of. So I can relate. But in your recovery, did you have any setbacks or delays that maybe changed your concept in life? And if not, how did you just instantly keep going if that's what you did?
Well, sometimes you have to fake it,
Mm-hmm.
You can bluff, you can fold, knock yourself out of the game, or you can, get into it. And I was extremely angry with myself for having broken my neck on a trampoline. It was, my mistake. Like, how could you have missed that so bad? And so you end up punishing yourself. For me, working out, racing, I mean, that was just a way of sort of punishing yourself, working out. Do you want to quit now? No, you're not, you ass. You're going to keep going because you did this. And so I got into racing and did very well in the nationals and all that type of stuff. And then one day you wake up on the track and say, what are you doing here? You're not helping it. And when I got hurt, I decided, well, if I'm going to live, I'm going to help people. And that was a little existential, out-of-body experience thing. But I just decided I don't care about this life. I'm just going to, suck it up, take it like a man. And when it's over, and help somebody.
Help somebody in the meantime. I love it. That's why I know I'm in the position I'm in, creating the Marc Network, providing that opportunity for families. And I know Matt so well now. Me and Matt have been friends now for long enough that I can call him a friend. And I know his dedication to giving back and helping so many people. That was a big reason, not just what you built and what you've accomplished in your racing career and stuff. For us having you on is the fact that you are helping people. And there is a couple more videos I want to share just to show people that this isn't a one-off. This isn't a one-time chair, as you saw two of them side by side. You got to go to Charlie's YouTube. You got to go to his YouTube channel and check it out. Your browser has blocked your screen. Click on the screen and the icon. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm going to do a screen share. Can you guys see everything all right? I'm going to go to screen share. You talked about these chairs that lift up. Like, I love that you have literally thought of everything in
Nice
these
features
chairs.
about this wheelchair I built. Um, the seat is adjustable up and down, so when I'm going downhill, I can raise the front of the seat up so I'm not sliding out. And it just makes it more comfortable to have that dump in the seat.
So it's 4 electric
Well, certainly
motors.
is a nice place to listen to nature.
Is that
And when you
tractor
talk,
tires?
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Those are 16-inch snowblower tires from a John Deere.
So when you talk about helping people, a big thing with me and my wife is she loves nature. She wants to go on these trails and she wants to get into the woods. Like, we went to Yellowstone and she couldn't go nowhere. Like, we're in this like chair. We got on the wooden planks because there are miles of wooden accessible trails up there.
Yeah. And those
But you know,
tough. I was there 5 years ago, and I was like, "Come on, United States, you
I
gotta
know.
do something."
So
Yeah.
so with that being said, I can't buy a $20,000 track chair or a $40,000 robot chair. Like, and it's hard. Like, but I know I can build one of these, especially with your guidance. So like, you are helping so many people and you're giving me, I know there's something I could build. I just haven't really
Yeah, you
spent
don't even
so much
need
of the time.
to drive. Trust me. That the beach wheelchair that you saw, I mean, I go camping and I bring that chair with me, and it'll go in many places you don't even want to be. I mean, the suspension is all built into the tires. You know, you're going on these things, they're all full of tree roots. It's uphill. That thing would just fly right up the hill. It just goes right over like nothing.
There is this video. Again, I'm blown away. And watch the ability of this 4-wheel drive vehicle, Matt. There's a big lip right there to get up this. Boom, right up it. Nothing. Boom. Like, people don't understand how hard it is to get just where
This
you just got.
drop here. That's like
What's
8.
that?
That's,
As you can see,
That's a big drop down, huh?
but it drives.
Yeah.
It drives. The kid was in it yesterday, and he drove over a big curbstone. He's like, "Oh my God, this thing didn't even phase it."
Yeah. Like,
And
just
those
right
are all
there.
recycled power chair parts and different.
Big hair, 4-pole motors. Those are very strong, and they're geared down to 24-1. So it's
Wow. So you get some good pull.
buku torque.
Wow.
It's absolutely amazing. Like, just look at the log. He
Yeah,
just went out. This is a different chair.
Right, that's a skid steer chair. I let somebody else use my chair. That's another one. That's one of the first 4-wheel drives. A guy named David Hine worked on that. That works just like a Bobcat. So
Okay.
it's like a track chair. It just skids. One side does its thing, and the other side does the other. So if one side's forward or backwards, it just spins on its own.
Wow.
Yeah, and that thing is I didn't know what gear ratio. I made it 2.5-1 plus whatever gear rate, the 24-1. So that thing we use it, it'll pull a car.
Wow, really?
It's just a little tractor. Crazy
That is,
little.
because I don't think people understand. Like, you need to visually see that and
Yeah.
and hear it from you on how that operates. Because again, you're talking gear
Yeah.
ratio. Those are the things that I haven't spent the time to learn and educate myself on. Is, like I said, when I get back up to Massachusetts here, I'm coming to your garage and we're gonna build something mean. Like
Wait.
we're gonna
We're
what's
gonna
that?
we're gonna move a joystick so your wife can drive a chair and you can go for a walk in the woods. I got
There you
Yeah.
go.
chairs that'll take you out there, so we'll have it on a rock out there.
Listen,
Ah,
I'm gonna gather the parts I'm coming up to because I want you to help me build one. I want two things. I want to learn how to weld, and I think you can teach me that. And I want to build one of those beach chairs. You'll make my wife so happy to know that I could take the family on the beach.
That was
Yeah.
yeah.
Charlie, it's you literally have created two monsters. Like
Yeah,
Mhm.
making me laugh because one time going on to the beach down a boat ramp and some guy was screaming, "Stop, stop," and he's yelling. I'm like, "Screw you, pal, I'm going on the beach." I just went on the beach. He was driving around. And then when I turned around, the guy was yelling. I'm like, this guy really doesn't want me on the beach with this wheelchair. It turns out he was a paraplegic sitting on a blanket and his chair was off to the side. And he was right at the end of the boat ramp because that's
you
as far as
wanted
I go. And then when I turned around, I'm like, oh, my bad. I went up and talked to him. He goes, I'm going to get one of these chairs. I live 3/4 of a mile from the beach and I saw you coming down the hill, flying and coming on. Anyways, long story short, he's like, you won't make me one. Well, then teach me to make one. I'm like, oh my God, that's even harder.
I'd rather make it for you.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, just teach me how to do this. That's even worse.
Oh gosh. I just need the little booklet. I can build anything. I can weld
Yeah.
anything. I'll buy the materials and parts.
Yeah.
Because it's different when you fully customize it to you. You know?
Yeah.
Quickly.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier about like when you were in rehab and the cost of chairs being so high, that's what motivated some of the evolution of this. And it's funny, it makes me think of some of the great, equipments that have come, and it has come from that mindset. Like I know I met the woman who started Quickie Company. She was a power hang glider that got hurt, and she said, she saw these chairs, like there's got to be a better design here. And she had been building power gliders, and her friends got together and built the first Quickie chair. And it comes from that mindset of seeing areas that need improvement or greater accessibility and just, putting your mind to the paper and building it.
Yeah. And she also made one of the first really good hand cycles, the Mach 3, 36 speeds, front wheel drive. And I still have two of those. I've got one that's an electric one and one that's just a regular straight up hand cycle.
Charlie, anything with the name Marc in it, it's great.
Yeah, this one's more like the speed barrier Mach 1. Mach
Oh. I just thought the Boston accent, Mac, because I'm Mac.
No, I mean, but it came from, seeing areas of improvement and doing something about it. Sometimes our community gets kind of stuck using what's available to us without and seeing a need for improvement, but not taking the initiative to improve it.
Yeah, well, the manual wheelchair market has been a huge disappointment as far as the brakes we have. They break on the come on. That's what they did with the what they call that first bicycle, penny farthing thing. You're stopping the tire on the outside of the tire. When it gets wet, how well does that work?
Yeah.
It doesn't. If you get a low air pressure in your tire, your brakes don't work. I've been teaching classes with like MIT and WPI up here in Olin College and have the students for the year project. One of them was making a drum brake for wheelchairs that actually really work. The disc brakes are pretty good, but the drum brakes. In fact, it's the same brake that was on the Quickie thing I just talked about, the Mach 3. Very solid, substantial brake, and you just push the lever forward. It holds the wheelchair. You're not looking for the. So it really works in low air pressure, whatever. The brake is now a brake. You can go down a hill and go as fast as you want and not burn your hands. You can control your braking just with your brake levers. With the brakes we have now, you have rum, 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 rum on your tire. They're really not that safe.
Or if you go to transfer on it and the tire's a little lower pressure. I mean, I can't tell you how many. I took a fall the other night because my chair slid out from underneath me. 2:00 in the morning, I was on the floor of my bathroom, and you're right. I mean, a lot of our systems are archaic. They've been around for so many years, didn't work years ago, and definitely don't work today.
And it hasn't been improved. I'm sorry, but come on, manual wheelchair people.
I know. They're trying to make them cheaper and lighter and everything, but sometimes you got to sacrifice the weight. Sometimes you got to sacrifice maybe the cost. Maybe, I mean, safety is priority in our community. I feel that we should be safe before anything.
Well, I think part of it is that we're not at the table during the designing to give our insights, right? It's like there's this organization called MDIC, their medical device and coalition, and their job, what they started from was to bring us to the table when something's being designed, to have our input, because what happens too many times is things are created and then we're retro trying to fix things after they introduce to our market, or we as the community of users are adapting to the product that's available, as opposed to having us at the table to discuss. And people like you, Charlie, that have that kind of mindset to say, guys, if we look at it this way and tweak it this way or do this that way, and they don't.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, some of the projects that I've worked with the students, their senior capstone project. I mean, last year, 3 gals that I worked with at WPI Worcester Polytechnic Institute, they finished second overall out of like many, many engineering projects, but it was just a simple front wheel drive electric scooter that I had bought for $150 off of Temu or someplace like that. And I just took the whole front off of it and put it between my legs, and you could pull back on it and you could drive your wheelchair around now with a power front end. And I just did a proof of concept and showed that to them. I mean, it was just, duct taped on and hose clamps holding it in place. And I'm making it so that they could take it. The battery was mounted on the handle. It weighed about 15 to 20 pounds. So it was fairly heavy, but you could put the thing right between your legs and it lifted your front wheels off the ground and gave you traction on that front wheel. And then you just drove your scooter. You could go to the store with it, and it went about 12 miles an hour. They could zip to the store. You can control yourself going downhill, which where if you're using a wheelchair, you lose a lot of energy just by steering. The brakes on to slow down to go left. You're putting the brake on to go. You can't push any faster, so you're only stuck braking. But when you your chair,
I was just in Arizona at the Abilities Expo, and this couple that I became friends with, their Onward Motion, like their nonprofit takes people with disabilities, mobility disabilities, driving race cars. And the wife was looking at that clip-on type of thing that they ride, but I think it was like $35 or $45, $5,500. Like, you get what I mean? So like that clip-on that clips on and it mounts, you have to have a bracket. But I mean, what you just said is take a kid's electric scooter that you can buy for $3.99 brand new in Target, disassemble it a little bit, make a bracket that holds. Now you got it for $300 instead of 3,500. It's the same thing.
And that's even better
It's
because
even better.
the footprint of the wheelchair stays extremely small. So you can use this in the house. You can turn it 90 degrees and make a 90-degree corner. You can turn it 180 and go backwards with it.
Wow.
Mm.
It's better than having it in front of your legs.
Yeah.
But next thing I'm building is a front of the legs type thing for just you can steer.
I want to see that you
Yeah.
built. I want to see that what you're just talking about when I come down, if you have pictures or videos of that.
Yeah, I got the chair in my basement.
Oh, I gotta
So-
see that.
It's just
So now all these designs you make, is this for your own experiments, or do you like?
no, it's I don't know. Eric, whom I guess you know or are going to
Yeah.
meet, he said to me he wanted to make a front wheel drive scooter thing that would turn better. So he came to my shop and showed me what he was doing. He has a tilt back and forth. That's how the thing turns, but it doesn't turn enough. You got to make fairly sweeping, large turns. And then after I looked at it for a while, I just said, "Now, forget pulling a wheelie and getting on a scooter. Put the thing between your legs and pull it backwards and lift your front wheels off the ground. And now you've got traction. You're not going to fall over backwards, and you've got the weight of the thing up front, so you're not going to flip over backwards because you're connected to it. And now you drive anywhere, and your chair is no larger."
Wow.
You also, there's another passion of yours that you have about giving away wheelchairs or free wheelchairs, or there's a number you had mentioned to me. You want to talk about that organization or that mission of yours
Would
for the
love to.
volunteering?
Love to.
Yeah.
I've been involved. I met a guy named Don Schoendorfer, who was the president or executive director, and he is a doctoral mechanical engineer from MIT. And so somehow he was roommates with a guy who's up here in Massachusetts. I'll cut to the chase. But anyways, he went to India and wanted to build a simple, very low cost chair that he could give away. And so he built a few of them in his garage, and they were just a white plastic lawn chair sitting on a metal frame. And the whole thing cost $40 to build. So he made like 10 of them and brought them to India, and then said, "Okay, anybody in the town that needs a wheelchair, I'm giving these away." Well, it turned out that the people who could get there fastest got the chairs, and then people that were crawling came later. And he was like, "Oh my God, I should have," the guy that had just one leg was doing pretty good compared to the person crawling. So he started that, and I used to teach with a physical therapist whose church heard about him, and then she got me involved to say, "Is this wheelchair junk or is it pretty good?" And when we went and had a bar room. We had, a fundraising thing to check this out, and I was looking at the chair and checking the brakes out. I said, "Oh, these brakes are really cool. They really grab and do well." And it was just a bent piece of metal that really worked well. And some guy goes, "What do you think of that chair?" And I says, "It's brilliant. For $40, this is marvelous. It gets somebody off the ground." And then it was Don Schoendorf who said, "Most people tell me I'm going to get bed sores, or I shouldn't be giving these out because it could hurt people." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you drag yourself in the ground, or you want to get in a plastic chair and wheel around. I'm going with the plastic chair." So almost 24 years now later, we've worked on a second generation chair, which was a non-folding but very adjustable, width-wise, height, back, all of that stuff. And there's a lot of little details that go into engineering to make it so you can ship it in a flat box and not take up much room. So aside from all that, great projects to work on, and we've, you know, corroborated through all these years and are good friends. And now we have a Gen 4 chair, fourth generation, made of aluminum. It folds. It, you know, it's super, super adjustable. We have like at least like 6 or 7 sizes of it that people can get for the width, everything from pediatric all the way up. And we've got 2 factories cranking out about 80,000 chairs a year. And so far, we've given away 1.5 million chairs around the world for free.
Wow. So they don't just go to India, they go all over.
No, they're in China. 1 factory is in India, 1 factory is in China, which those are 2 huge populations. But I forget, it's probably like there's maybe 80 million people in the world that need wheelchairs.
Wow. Yeah, my resource center gets a lot of calls from Africa, from Ghana, and different places, Pakistan, people in dire need. You know, it's amazing, you know, as messed up as some things in our country are in accessing the proper equipment, we do have so much more than so many other people around the world.
It's unbelievable, actually. This guy, Don, got the equivalent of the Medal of Honor. They have one, same thing, but for non-service. And he saved a lot of lives in Afghanistan and Iraq because they were giving away the military was giving away these wheelchairs through free wheelchair mission. And that helped so many people in the town that when something else was going down, those people would report to the Army, say, look, I don't want you guys to get hurt, but this is going to be happening. And one thing after another, it just avoided and saved so many American lives from walking into traps that the President of the United States gave him. So
that's impressive.
Yeah, but just helping people. If we could just help people and forget about your ethnicity, your religion, this thing or that thing. I mean, people are so grateful. One wheelchair changes 60 people's lives because people have been taking care of somebody, getting your kid to school. And that impacts a whole village.
Yeah. Especially in these smaller communities. Oh, there it is.
Oh, great.
Yeah. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You know, if you don't realize until later the impact you can have on someone by just a simple gift of a chair or leftover equipment you have in your house. I ship a lot to like Dominican Republic and stuff where these guys don't have an opportunity to access the simplest of stuff.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And even today, 25 years later, it's like $95 to build and ship. Okay.
Wow.
We do it on containers, 550 chairs in one container. And we go to distribution partners who they're trained by physical therapists. Most are physical therapists. They measure people and everybody gets a custom built aluminum wheelchair now. And it's just magnificent for $100.
That is absolutely wild. I have somebody I need to connect you with. He's heavily involved in a church mission here in Texas. He was my realtor, and he's been asking me about, you have to know somebody in your community, Mark. You know, we sponsor these students for education as a family and as a church and as a community. You know, we pay for their education on a monthly basis. But he goes, when we go down there and, you know, we see our students and the people that we support graduate, but just to see the devastation with the mobility, accessibility to stuff down there, he's like, there's got to be something you can do, or you got to find me somebody, you know, to help. And I said, I'll be looking. And now I found it, thanks to you. And this is what conversation does for a community. We bring awareness, the Marc Network, the mobility awareness resource community. We bring awareness to resources within our community. And that is an amazing resource for our community of 1.8 billion people globally that are affected by disabilities. So I thank you. Like, I didn't even know, I know me and you talked about this mission, and I didn't really grasp the whole vision of it, and all the information on it, because I got indulged in your videos that you build these selfishly for my reasoning of why I was so excited, because me and my wife want to get, and I want to build our wheelchairs to get us out there. But in reality, I believe that this was a conversation that was much bigger than that. And it was that mission right there. And I have a nonprofit organization, and I'd love to donate. And as the Remarkable Foundation, I would love to support that mission in your behalf, like in honor of you for bringing awareness to this for me.
It's but Free Wheelchair Mission is also a Christian ministry, but they don't, any religion, they're not giving it just to Christians.
No, 100%. I know that.
And it's amazing what one thing leads to another.
So if I have someone that reaches out to in a third world country that needs some support, can I connect them with the Free Wheelchair Organization to see if they can help?
Absolutely. Use my name.
Okay.
Say Charlie wants to get something to somebody in Afghanistan or whatever. And if we have a partner there that we can, they have a warehouse full of chairs and they can build, it's a fairly simple thing to make any chair a different size. It's just a matter of a few mixing different parts.
Matt, you can copy and paste. I put it in the chat for you. Okay, buddy?
Okay.
All
right. Awesome.
So it's in the chat. Yeah, it's in the chat. I wanted to make sure I got that up for you. Charlie,
Thank you.
I mean, it just keeps getting deeper and deeper. I mean, we're at the 47-minute mark of the interview. We like to keep between 45 minutes and an hour. I'm so glad I knew you had that you were a big part of and involved in and believer and loved that mission. So I'm glad I brought it up and didn't forget in this interview. Is there anything else that you want to really promote? Anything you have coming up other than obviously the freewheelchairmission.org, but anything else that you want to talk about, an event, something that you got going on, or a motto or anything that you live by?
Well, my motto is keep your mind full and your bowels empty.
That's good to live by, because when your barrels, when they're full, there can be some problems. I had a catheter a few times to make sure I didn't explode.
But no, I'm just starting a YouTube channel, which is really trying to get other people with disabilities out there.
Is there another YouTube channel, a different one that you're going to be starting other than the one I'm showing now?
No, it's just under my name. I suppose I should get a name like All Thing Wheelchairs or something like that. I don't know. Just it'll go where it's gonna go, I guess. That's I'm not doing it for the money or trying to make it like, if I get 1 million subscribers, I'll make, I don't know what to make $10 off of YouTube or something.
Well, here at the Marc Network, I mean, we can monetize your channel as well, where if you're creating content like this, we could put it on our page, and as viewers and people watch it, we could sell to Indicare. We could sell to a different company that might want to sponsor you and say, hey, we'll give Charlie $500 an episode. And, as a middle guy, unfortunately, the company, we have hosting costs. We'd have to steal, $499 of it.
That's all good with me. I'm retired now. I did my.
Just kidding.
Money doesn't really interest me. I just like having fun. I like getting outside. I'm blessed that I have a brain that could, I have a high-speed, long-range wheelchair that just screams, and I took that out the other day. So someday you'll see a video of that coming out, and You know, the beach wheelchairs. I was at Newport Beach in Rhode Island 2 days ago. Beautiful. And then in the woods, then it was everything. The drift wheelchairs. I got more hand cycles tandem. Hand cycles you connect right onto the back. I've got done it with sails on it, believe it or not. Sailing in your hand. I mean,
Yeah.
thick stuff. You're like, holy crap. The wind.
You're like the mad scientist over here. It's
Yeah,
like,
Mad Max.
I've been
yeah.
blessed.
I love it.
Bob Hicks, he's 95 now and still rides and everything else. But, you know, he was a master adapter, a machinist. And, you know, I'm complaining about the wind. I hate the wind. I hate pedaling into the wind. This, you know, it just takes too much energy. And then he's like, well, let's put a sail on. I'm like, okay, let's do that. And you'd think we were out ice. You know, they have the sailboats
Yeah.
on. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing with your wheelchair. It'll go straight as an arrow, but the wind will make it move.
Wow.
Sit in the back
And-
on the tandem running the sail, and I'm driving. And we're,
And it worked. It did what you wanted to do.
God, yes.
Oh.
Yeah,
Did you have helmets on?
I didn't. You know, the first it was too cold. And
You gotta,
it was warm.
Charlie, you got to
What?
protect that brain.
When I land on my head, I know I'm going to be all right.
You know, I mean, aside from like building wheelchairs, you look at other aspects of the wheeler's life to figure out adaptions, equipments. Like one of the areas that I struggle with most that I've been trying to figure out a solution is home scales, right? Because we don't have a scale in our home. A lot of us don't even know what we weigh, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's a big initiative to get them in medical office, but I said, that's fine, but I'm only seeing my doctor once every couple of months, maybe once a year. I need something in between there. And to buy one on Amazon, they're like $1,300, $1,000. There's got to be a cheaper, easier way to modify a home scale.
There is. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. You just make yourself get a regular digital scale.
Yeah.
Find out what you weigh. Get one of those fancy ones and get yourself weighed and your chair weighed. And it'll say you, let's say with you in your chair, you weigh 200 pounds. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
same little digital scale. And you wheel onto that with just one of your back wheels. Okay. And it'll say you weigh 80 pounds. So now you know that 80 pounds on this scale equals 200 pounds in reality.
Mhm.
But that's your ratio right there, 80 to 200. And you do fractions when you were a kid,
Yeah.
put them one over the other, and then you go this
Mhm.
different number. Then when you cross multiply, that's your
Yeah.
weight. Okay. So then you work out, do what you do, diet, then you wheel onto it and you look at it and says, oh, I'm 81 pounds. Well, now
Gain
you
muscle.
weigh 204 pounds or something. Okay.
Gotcha.
It's a simple mathematical ratio. You don't have to be, you know.
So all those times, Charlie, in math class, like when will I ever use this? That this is when you use it, right?
Math?
In high school or in college, when you're in math
Yeah.
class and you're doing algebra and calculus, and you're doing all this
It's
stuff, and you're like, I'm never going to use this in my life.
Right.
If you become paralyzed and you're in a wheelchair and you got to get on a scale, you start using this math.
Yeah. It's simple. But anyways, yeah, you don't need all that fancy stuff. Just listen to me. Do like I say, not like I do.
Yeah. Wear a helmet, unlike Charlie.
Put a break. Right. Yeah.
Well,
Well-
I want to say thank you. I don't know, Matt, anything else you want to say? Because again, we're coming up on the hour mark. Charlie, I appreciate your time. And we're not done with you yet. I'm coming out. I'm going to be covering some footage with whatever me and you are going to build, and we're going to have it on our YouTube channels. So thank you very much for being a part of it. Matt, take over.
Charlie, I can't say it now. I echo what Mark said. I can't say it enough. Thank you very much for, you know, coming on, sharing your story, sharing your designs with us, creating the YouTube channel. You know, I watched. I stalked you through your YouTube channel after Jane Weirbicky mentioned your name and Eric mentioned your name. I was like, oh, let me check this guy out, and I was blown away. So I will be coming up and visiting. I may sneak out your back door with one of your beach chairs on the back of my truck. I can't make any promises.
It's all fine. And I just was thinking I have older YouTube videos on teaching wheelchair mobility and then one on ADL skills.
Yes, I did see those. I was gonna put them up, but I knew we were limited to time, and these are what and these are what I wanted to show selfishly. But I did want to promote your YouTube channel, and and it's we popped it up a lot. And Charlie, if you don't mind, if I'm gonna play this video to end the recording, and it's pretty much you saying what you say here.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thank you,
for
Charlie.
being here.
Great that
Let's
you guys.
take a little walk.
I thought that was a pretty cool way to end you just driving off into the sunset on the beach chair, fading out. So thank you very much, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Thanks for having me. Keep doing good things like you're doing.
Thank you.
You.
All right. Bye.